There's a lot of speculation on what kind of movies are going to be added into Kingdom Hearts 4. A lot of people think that there's going to be live action movies, for example, like Star Wars, when you see the AT-AT foot in the trailer. However, I think there's a movie that people are overlooking, and this is a movie that I loved as a kid, and I kind of thought of when I was going through the frozen fortress that was made by Larxene in Kingdom Hearts 3. It kind of gave this vibe that, was very similar to something else. And I feel like when I was in Frozen, it was kind of depressing and dark and didn't really fit the theme of Elsa or the world. But if we add this kind of concept and theme into this new world, it could fit really well. Now, you're probably wondering what this movie I think we should add is. Well, you may have guessed based on the topic of Elsa's castle, but the movie I think we should add is Narnia. Specifically, the Disney adaptation of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. What are we going to be talking about in this video? Well, there's a couple of things. First, I want to talk why I think we need this world. Then I would go into how would the story work and fit with the overall narrative of Kingdom Hearts. And we'll go into things that I'm calling cosmetics, or just the look or fluff of the world. First and foremost, why do I think we need this world? Sora is traveling to Quadratum, where it's more live action, more unreality. We need more live action movies in Kingdom Hearts. We've already had Tron and Pirates of the Caribbean, as you know, and Pirates of the Caribbean looked absolutely gorgeous in Kingdom Hearts 3. Imagine how this movie's going to look in Kingdom Hearts 4. Next, it's epic. I mean, you look at the final battle of Narnia. I mean, for a kid movie, this blew my mind. This is on the same level of like Lord of the Rings type of mass battles. It's not to the same scale, but it's pretty massive, especially for a kid's story. This specific world applies very well to the overarching story, which I'll get to more later. And finally, if there's anything Kingdom Hearts really needs, it's more Jesus. So, how would the story in this world work? I think the best place the story could start at is right as the Beavers and the Pevensies go to search for Edmund after leaving their house. They see Edmund in the far distance, and they're screaming to get his attention. Well, this catches Sora and the gang, or whoever the character is, this catches their attention. And so they meet up, they realize that Edmund is in trouble, and they want to help. They feel like they should help escort these important children to their destination and hopefully have them reconnect with their brother. I feel like Sora could resonate with this. He's like, well, I've always tried to find my friends. Let me help you. So they go from the beaver house, running, see death, and, the Pevensies witness. So as they're going through the story, I think it would be incredibly interesting if Sora met up with Santa like they did in the movie as well, the live-action Santa that they end up meeting. They make some funny comments or some funny dialogue about Sora meeting Santa again and freaking out about it. But this time, just as Santa's giving the Pevensies presents, he also gives Sora some awesome items as well. We move on to the river being defrosted, and I think this is a cool opportunity for Sora to fight the wolves while a timer is going on and the river is melting. Continue till they get to Aslan's army, and I'm sorry, one moment. This has been bugging me for such a long time. Alright, you got the Griffins, amazing strategy that Peter and Edmund came up from the raids in World War II. They have the Griffins come and drop giant boulders on the opposing army, right? Super effective. And you see the Griffins get pelted by arrows, right? Well, do they not know how... I mean, I know they're kids, but do they not know how gravity works? Like, have the Griffins just go a little bit higher, where the arrows lose momentum and then they don't die, and they're just like, all right, we killed a bunch of people with stones and no repercussions happen. Let's do it again and again and again and again and again. Right? I mean, you don't even you don't even have to fight at that point. You're just kind of hanging back and just like, all right, let's just pelt them for a bit. Anyways, stupid rant. Get back to the video. They continue on until they get to Aslan's army. They join forces with the army. Now, this is where the story might get interesting, depending on how Square Enix wants to run this game. Whether they have it as a single character campaign, as they've had in Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3, or perhaps multiple characters, like in Dream Drop Distance or Birth by Sleep. We know that Riku is going to be quadratum with Sora. We have multiple characters. I think the story can play out interestingly as well. Just as Sora is meeting the Pevensies on the one side of the lake with the beavers, Riku is seeing Edmund go into the White Witch's castle, which looks like Elsa's castle in Kingdom Hearts 3, and he gets stuck there with Edmund. And this is interesting for him because he knows what it's like to be manipulated by someone dark and evil, and is trying to convince Edmund, like, hey, you should do something that's right. They end up getting saved from the witch's camp, just like in the movie, and they join up with the army as well. So Sora and Riku are like, oh, I'm glad to see you here. They then split, just like the Pevensies split in the movie. Lucy and Susan go with Aslan, where he gets sacrificed and killed. Edmund and Peter go to fight the battle. And I think if we do have a split story, I believe that Riku should go with Peter and Edmund to the final battle, and Sora should go with Lucy and Susan to Aslan's sacrifice. Now, why is this important? When you look at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, it is very similar to Aslan's story in this movie. Edmund is a criminal against Narnia, and he offers himself instead to be killed. From that, he is brought back to life, and he says, well, if the witch knew the old magic or the deep magic as well as I did, she would know that a pure soul being sacrificed or whatever for someone else, it brings them back to life. This is interesting for Sora because that's exactly what he did for Kairi. And he's like, oh, is this the answer to bring Sora back to life, or bring me back to life? And you can swap between Sora and who goes with them. But it's just like, oh, this is why I came to this world. This is why we're here, because we needed to witness this event happen, and maybe this is the answer. Whoever is with Aslan, Sora, or Riku, they then meet up the final battle, just like they do in the movie, and they help out, and you get a massively amazing battle. Just like on the scale of the 1,000 Heartless battle in Kingdom Hearts 2, but just absolutely nuts chaos. And I'm pretty sure the PS5 can handle this kind of thing. Like, maybe it turns into a Dynasty Warriors type combat that's just nuts. Now, I think this would work well with Kingdom Hearts 4 if the concept is death. And I think it's so exciting. Now, some cosmetics. Obviously, Sora, Donald, if Donald and Goofy are there, whatever, they need world forms for this. Just imagine Sora as a fawn. Now, Sora, he has to be a fawn. He has to be some mythical creature, because the story of Narnia makes no sense that you need 2 sons of Adam and 2 daughters of Eve. And if Sora shows up, they're like, well, which one is it? It gets too confusing. He needs to be a fawn because they are the chosen ones. The Pevensies are the ones that Narnia needs, so he needs to be a fawn. But he would look so good with horns and fawn legs and pointy ears. I can just see it now, and it looks amazing. Here's where it gets a little wild. I have some idea. I don't know if this one will be super good. I just thought it would be fun. Donald and Goofy to be form changed as well. And sometimes those form changes can get weird, like in Atlantica when Donald is an octopus and Goofy's a turtle. This one, I thought Donald Duck could be a dwarf. And I know it's in this movie that the dwarves are on the bad side, but can you just imagine Donald Duck braided beard, and he's already grumpy like a dwarf, and maybe a little battle hat, or just he's stumpy. It fits. And Goofy, I just thought if you want to be real wacky and wild, make him just straight up centaur, like Goofy top half, second half horse, and that's it. And it would just be so weird. I think those would be really good form changes. Another cosmetic thing that I thought would be interesting is Aslan, that they're talking with him, asking, how do, can I use this power to come back to life? He's one of those characters that knows more about the overarching world than most people. Think of King Triton, Merlin, Fairy Godmother, because he's basically God in Narnia. So of course he would know these types of things. Maybe he can give some more exposition and kind of explain their situation a little bit better to them. This is a good opportunity to learn or do some lore sword. You're like, okay, this makes sense. And I thought he would be the perfect type of character for that. He can tell them more about Quadratum and unreality and explain it further to them. Let's go towards a Keyblade. How would a Keyblade look from an Narnia world? I didn't have a ton of concepts in my mind. I just know that one of the symbols of Narnia is the lamppost. And I think that would be really interesting as the stock of the Keyblade. At the top, you have the actual lamp, the light. And then maybe something like the lion symbol on the end, or the lion head, just like the lion heart, the Keyblade. But I think that would be a really interesting Keyblade. I don't know too much for the teeth, but I think the lamppost would be perfect as the main part of the Keyblade. Some things that we could add as well is the Satyr and Storm Rider Heartless. I feel like they would fit perfectly in this world. I mean, the Storm Rider looks like a centaur, the Satyr, of course, is a Satyr. And maybe add the rock giants as well. Or just make a new Heartless entirely, like Dwarf Heartless, or Fawn Heartless. Also, I forgot to mention it, I think this would be hilarious if not if you are there. And Sora meets the beavers. And Sora is astonished. He's like, what? Talking animals? And he has like a brain aneurysm from this Arts comedy. Sometimes it's really good, and sometimes it's really corny. I think it would be hilarious if Sora just overreacted to seeing talking animals for the first time. Let me know what you guys think. If you have any ideas of worlds that should be added into Kingdom Hearts. I know a lot of people talk about Star Wars or Marvel or all these different things, and they don't really talk about The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And I think this movie would be so good. It fits so. It's a fantasy world in Kingdom Hearts, and it's like the glove could not fit more perfectly. Anyways, I'm rambling. Thanks for watching.